Hello, Internet, and welcome to Tuesdays here on GGK. We're here playing Spell the RPG as one shot. I think we're calling it Words Are Magic. She says, overlay. I don't know if it's just that's what I'm calling it. Words Are Magic. Hey, everyone. We're playing Spell. The RPG, if you haven't seen this game before, is a game made by Whimsy Machine Games. Came out pretty recently, I think. Oh, no, 2015. So it's been a couple of years. But still, it's we've never played it before. It's all of our first time giving this system a try. Be gentle with us if you actually know something about this system, because we don't, and we're gonna do our damnedest to give it a shot. I'll explain a little bit more about the rules and all that here in a bit, as we're gonna make our characters on stream. But first, we have games to promote that we do throughout the week. If you just watched our promo video, you saw all the wonderful things that we're doing here on GGK. Our next stream after this one, I believe, will be Friday, because we won't have Wild Space this Thursday because it's a holiday here in the US, so a lot of us can be busy. But on Friday, we'll be back for Neon Souls. It's the Sprawl, powered by the Apocalypse game, running for a bit. It's a cyberpunk dystopian future. There's evil corporations, giant predatory shrimp, and evil Mickey Mouse. It's a lot of fun. Join us at 8 o'clock for that. Otherwise, our schedule will be as normal after Thursday. So come join us for all sorts of things. I will probably be doing some video game streaming tomorrow or Thursday as well, because most of us are just stuck at home for the holidays. So we're just going to be doing our own things. And if you're being responsible, socially distance, celebrate your holiday as well. I'm watching you. So anyway, let's get started. Does anyone have anything to promote, guys, before we get going? We got the usual crew here. Sid is joining us. Greek Sid, you love her on Elegant Suffering as our facilitator, and she's in all sorts of stuff on this channel. Anyone got anything they want to join it or to promote?
I
Savannah?
do. Yeah, hello, it's me, Sabby. I have a couple of games on another channel when I'm not here. On Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm on twitch.tv/encounter roleplay playing Dungeons and Dragons in Song of the Deep. We've got 4 weeks left in the season, because on Wednesdays on Encounter Roleplay at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I run a game of iHunt, and it's about millennial monster hunters just doing their best, being horny on main. It always goes this way when I run games. Love it. Anyway, come hang out with me tomorrow.
I think I see raised hands in the chat.
Hi.
Yes.
I have something. This week tomorrow, if you're not watching, well, this week tomorrow, if you're not watching Savvy play, we are probably doing our last game of Rod of Seven Parts. So stop by Nerd Immersion's channel to see the thrilling conclusion. Yes. It's either this week or next week. It's at 8:30 p.m. EST.
Oh, my game's basically over then.
Yeah.
Just come hang out with me and then leave and go hang out with LB.
Both.
You don't need to watch the debrief, it's fine. Pull them both up at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
No, I think me and LB initially were just raising our hands and saying sorry for all the horny on main. I think that was kind of what had happened.
No, I actually raised my hand.
Oh no, I was just apologizing for the horny on main. Never mind.
Sid was telling on herself.
Never apologize for horny on main.
That's my
None
brand,
of us do.
bread and butter.
So with this energy, let's go ahead and talk about the game we're going to be playing, guys. So we're playing Spell, the RPG. Much like any other game out there, everyone will have, it's a magical, fantastical game. Everyone's playing a wizard or a speaker in this setting. We roll 6-sided dice to decide what we're doing. Everyone's got stats called impulses. It's a lot of what you expect the kicker with this game and the fun part, and the reason why I wanted to run this more than anything else in the world, is that the game has a fun mechanic where, in order to cast a spell, the players will roll. They'll determine a number of tiles they get to draw, and then they get to draw Scrabble-like letter tiles, and use those, and they have to use those to spell out a word that will flavor whatever the spell they're trying to do accomplish. We'll have a lot of examples as we get started, because everybody's going to have to start with a couple, and it's a lot of fun. So it can lead to some really chaotic things with people casting Nuke or Fish or Vor, I think was one of the ones you guys threw out. So yeah, that was our pregame energy. So what we're going to do first is get some of the more typical stuff out of the way, let you guys make your characters, talk about who they are, what they look like, and we'll come up with impulses, and get that stuff out of the way, and then we'll come up with your starting spells. And all of this stuff is going to kind of flavor your character for the use in this one shot, which, for the people at home, the players know this, but the one shot is going to take place in like a kind of a school-like setting, where they're training to be speakers. So a couple of you already have like names and descriptions and stuff for your characters, so let's start with those people, and we will go down the list. So I think the person with the most completed character is David. So David, why don't you go down name, approximate age, all that for your character. I'll go ahead and actually I'll stall for a little bit longer to give people a chance to catch up by saying the stuff that that you go through, it's very loose. There's not like a set list of things to choose really for a lot of this, but everybody has their character. You name whatever you want. You'll have a motto, which is some sort of phrase or something that kind of describes your character, some sort of role play cue that they have. Your age, which can be specific, like 23, or can be sort of figurative, like too old for this nonsense. And then you'll have your interests, which are like hobbies and occupations and other things that'll kind of correspond with your core stats. Their looks, it's whatever you think they look like, whatever is important, distinguishes them. And then their philosophy, which can be general, but is kind of specific to the setting. There are different people that approach being a speaker in different ways. They're like subsets of speakers, like academics and folklorists and purists. And it kind of depends on like how they view this language, these words that they speak that manifest power, because that's the whole theme of this system is the words you speak. The people that have these abilities can manifest and call forth these like eldritch words that will manifest things in the real world. And people have different philosophies, religious or otherwise, on how those work and how this power should be used. So with that being said, David, who are you playing?
I am playing Charles Wedgwood, 26, bit of a naturalist, studies biology and things of that nature, medicine, interested in the study of the nature of thought. His motto is, let's see if we can figure this out. Looks kind of like well-kept, dressed nice, brown hair, pale skin. Kind of a larger upper body compared to his lower body. His arms are a little bit too long. He's got kind of hairy fingers and big hands. And kind of like hypnotic, piercing green eyes. And his philosophy is academics, kind of the thought that like, I'm more interested in finding out what we can do with this magic than really worrying about what it would be used for afterwards or anything like that. Push the limits, just see what we can come up with.
Perfect. And then you've already, we'll go back around for impulses and stuff, but you've already done a lot of that in your starting spells, but that's perfect for now. I think Sid, you would also have a lot. Sid's is about to get weird. because we talked about this ahead of time. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way.
Okay. To be fair, I did not get a lot of sleep last night, and my ADHD mind came up with this under a lot of stress and caffeine.
I got a weird message this morning.
Yes,
what this translates
yes,
to.
this is kind of how this begins. I was inspired by a really dumb meme back from several years ago of a wizard holding a piece of parchment that says how to summon what he thought said a demon, but it actually said lemon. And he summons a lemon and he says, I hate cursive, and it's silly. So I thought that I would be a freeform speaker's former apprentice who was accidentally turned into a lemon. So I am a lemon.
She is a small anthropomorphic lemon.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna see how that turns out in gameplay. That sort of weird stuff happens is commonplace in this world. The spells that you cast have long-lasting, permanent ramifications sometimes. We'll get into more of those, but yes, in Sid's case, another speaker, part of your backstory, it's not necessarily your power yet, because you haven't determined your spells, unless you get some really good pulls and you're able to get like squeeze and like sour as your like spells, then that'll be perfect. But as it stands right now, the ramifications of somebody else's spell transformed you into this form, which I couldn't decide was any more or less powerful, wasn't going to break the game in any way.
No, she's just a lemon.
That lasts for.
She's just a lemon.
So how old is she? What's her interests, motto?
Her name is Volkamer Meyer. She goes by VK. She's 18, so she's fairly young. She continued through her tutelage even after being transformed into a lemon. Her interests are baking, cooking, gardening, mixology. She likes to work with like codes and secret messages. Yeah, it's all parts of her interests. She looks wise. She's about 5.5 inches tall. She has a bright yellow rind. She has a very small mouth, a tiny little button nose, and 2 small little blue eyes, and 2 spindly arms and spindly legs. She's freeform. That's what she was taught. That's a freeform sort of speaker that sort of changed her. So that's what she knows. And her motto is, when life hands you me, make me but sweeter.
Perfect. And we talked about the academics with David's character, who gave a fairly accurate summation of that, to explore the phenomenon without any real thought into the morality or the ramifications of it. Freeform is more of a rebellious philosophy for speakers who are self-motivated and less interested in organizations and labels. It's just sort of a do what you want, however you want. The true chaotic energy of this power. Use the power to see what happens with it. And some people can be really chill with it. Some people can be very violent with it. That's VK. Now, out of the 3 of you remaining, I don't know who is further along with their character concepts.
I can go.
So much shrugging. Okay, Savannah, why don't you go?
My character's name is Penelope Dawson. And she's
Okay.
happy to be here. Let's see. Well, my character sheet froze. Maybe I can't go. There we go. Penelope loves books. Books are her favorite thing. All kinds of books. Fiction books, textbooks. She has a whole stack of plays that she just carries around. She considers those books. She loves books. She likes to read. She reads basically everything she can get her hands on. She is short. She's not as short as VK, but she's short, probably cresting 5 feet. She has big brown curly hair and glasses. and she looks like a big nerd. Her motto is "There's always something new to learn." And philosophy-wise, she's a little freeform. Her whole philosophy is that because she lives in a universe where words have power, is that everyone's words have power, and so everyone's words should be heard.
Wonderful. And she's not like secretly a book or something in this. Like she doesn't have some weird thing. She's a person that likes books, right?
She's just a person that likes books.
Okay, good.
All the
She's
books are secretly
probably-
her family members that she accidentally turned into books. She must carry them around.
Yeah, all her best friends are books. And she loves books. She's a big nerd. She's probably involved in too many extracurricular activities. She's probably on the debate team.
Sounds good.
That feels like something she would do.
We will create a debate team at Wordsmiths now, which I think debate team is probably a lot more violent than it sounds in this universe, because
Maybe.
your words can actually hurt people.
Yeah, it's
like
Fight Club.
physically hurt. It's Fight
I
Club.
think Penelope's nice, but maybe a little competitive.
Idea for future one shot with this debate team equals Fight Club.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Alex.
Yeah. So tonight I will be playing Kanji Conjurites. I don't know. I've got the spelling of the last name, not sure on the pronunciation. It's a 24-year-old guy who's very ostentatious, flamboyant, very tall and lanky, got long, wavy, luxurious locks, very involved in his own appearance, has some fake glasses for when the mood strikes him. Some of his main interests are fashion and drama. His motto is, "It's called word play for a reason, darling." And he is a freeform caster, I would imagine.
Okay, cool. We got a lot of free forms in this group so far. I love it. That's gonna go really well with what I'm gonna do to you guys today. The LB, you're the only one left.
Yes. Hi, I'm LB. I'm playing Nimloth tonight. She is, if you know anything about harem animes, she's the Kawiko. So she's the adorable one. Her interests include candy, naps, cakes, and plushies. She's probably around the same size as Penelope, just a little small girl. Her motto is, "Can't we just eat cake and take a nap?" But her family is they're a long line of scribes, and she is very was trained to be one as well. So she is. She'd rather not, but she's quite powerful in her scribiness.
Okay. Now I'm assuming what is her philosophy?
I didn't write anything for philosophy yet.
Okay, curious. That's fine if you don't want to leave that. It's not the most important aspect of the game. So the reason why I asked that scribes in this system are actually like capital S scribes. It's actually like a theory of like almost like religion, where people it's theorized that scribes out there exist, that nobody actually has been able to prove that they exist, that they are the writers, the authors of these magical words that you guys use.
Mhm.
I assume you mean lowercase scribes, that they like write and transcribe things, and not that she's descended from a god.
Who knows?
Okay, who knows?
She'll
We'll
never
see.
tell.
We'll
I'm too
find
worried
out in
about
play.
candy.
So with all that being said, let's move on to the second part of character creation, which is more of the boring stuff, allocating points. I say boring, it's not really, because this is kind of gonna what's going to determine who your character is, what they're like, and what they're good at. So everybody gets 12 points that they can distribute amongst their impulses, 1 for 1. It is not recommended that you distribute these like evenly or try to be a jack of all trades with these, because the way that impulses work is that when you make a roll, you're going to justify how it is you're doing that. If you're breaking down a door or trying to get past a door, you could use force to try to push your way through. You could use reason to try to figure out the locking mechanisms. You could use style to say that you do it with pizzazz. The justification you make for how you use the impulse may determine its difficulty. Using style to open a door is probably going to be harder to do than using something like force or reason. But as long as you guys can justify it, you can do it. So the amount of points you have in that, or your level of your impulse, is how many d6s you get to roll. If I determine that it is an average difficulty check, you have to roll a 4 or higher on one of the dice in order to succeed. If it is a hard difficulty, you have to roll a 6 on one of the dice in order to succeed. It's easy as that. There may be like epic checks and things like that where you might have to roll more than one success in order to succeed or to do whatever it is you want. Probably won't get into much of that today. Probably going to go by the standard, either 4 or 6, depending on what you're trying to do. So you guys can distribute those based on the personalities that you've come up with for your character. The other thing I'll talk about is your spirit level. So everybody right now has a spirit level of 12, because however many points or however many levels you have in all of your impulses across the board is your spirit, which is equivalent to like your health or well-being. When you guys take damage later on, if I say you take spirit damage, you will have to reduce one of your impulses by 1. There's put a penalty thing on the side, and you knock that down, so it becomes harder to do things the more injured you get. If an impulse is at 0, you can't use that impulse. So anything you guys don't put points in right now, you can't roll. It doesn't mean that your character, like if you don't put points in force, doesn't mean they can't be forceful. It just means it's not part of their personality, and they'll typically be driven to do things in other ways. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Do you guys want to talk for a second about which points or which abilities or impulses that you guys are leaning towards?
Grit and force don't seem to make sense for a 5-inch tall lemon. Probably not going to grab those. Just throwing that out there, friends.
Unless they're the strongest lemon
in the world. Like ant strong.
I think my main is going to be renown and feeling.
Is there a limit to how many points we can put in a thing?
6.
6.
Yeah, that is the max. I'm double checking to see at character creation if there's a limit, but I don't think so. You can put any points. I'll go and read off what it says in the book. Characters with any level in an impulse have a decent chance of succeeding on an average check with it. 3 or 4 will generate about a dozen letters for spells, which is a very optimal amount in most uses. Impulse with the maximum level 6 can be handy for hard challenges, but also big investments. You want to have higher levels and things, but starting with a 6 and something off the bat probably isn't going to help you too much, because you're going to be very limited in what you can do. So you were saying, VK, that you're gonna do, or Nimloth, you were gonna do renown.
Yes, renown.
Oh.
See, I got renown, feeling, and a little bit in daring.
Okay. Renown, for the people at home, is the summary of it is you're driven with the goal of social standing, earned respect, and acknowledgement. And what was your other ones?
Feeling.
Feeling, you're driven by emotion, whether to feel that emotion to a greater extent or because there's comfort in that emotion. And your last one?
Daring.
Daring, you are driven for the thrill of the experience independent of personal well-being. So yeah, that seems to fit with what you said. So are you putting like 4 points in each of those, or are you also giving some smaller amounts in other skills and stuff too?
Yeah, I'm doing smaller amounts on other skills too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I have.
Sounds
I'm gonna go scheme.
Mhm.
scheme.
Yeah.
So you are driven by strategy and planning, taking into account a multitude of factors beyond the present context.
Yeah. And
You're a
then,
cautious lemon.
huh? Not cautious.
A manipulative lemon.
A manipulative lemon. I'm thinking more. And then probably reason too.
Reason, driven by the idea that a problem can be thought through or figured out given enough time or resources.
What about hope?
Hope.
What's hope?
You are driven by a reliance in or motivation from and the strength of an immeasurable external source. So characters with this impulse draw strength from a force beyond themselves. Sort of like a cleric. You're a religious type. But it doesn't have to necessarily be religious. Can be like hope can be grown from a loving support group, a religious belief, the beauty of science, dumb luck, or a vague notion that everything will turn out all right. Hope is just, you could just be a lucky bastard and put all your points in hope.
I'm a living fucking lemon. Hell yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
I was also going to put some in hope. I think I'm going to do trust and grit.
Okay.
I like the
So
description of grit a lot.
Trust is acting in reliance to other individuals or encouraging others to rely on them. And grit, driven by principle, often in opposition of something disagreed with or with dedication or perseverance. So you're known
Willingness
for,
to stand up for what they believe in.
Yeah.
And
I like
then
that. And then hope.
Hope. And then maybe one more. I don't know.
Okay. How about
Focus?
David and
Oh,
Alex for their main.
Yeah, I just got them in. I just put them in 4. I did. My biggest is focus.
Okay. Driven by a passion for a specialty, an obsession of one topic, and or a need to associate and experience with an expertise. Cool.
And I chose biology for the topic.
Okay.
And then I did kind of so that was a 4, and then I did 2 3s, and those were force and reason.
Okay. Good reason, and I don't think I've done the description for force. Driven by the notion that hard work or a simple application of direct force can solve the problem. You'll notice these are all like, again, they're framed as like drives, beliefs, and it's less like I'm super muscular, so I put a lot in force. It's more about I have a belief that this is how things should work out, and this is like my philosophy going through life. So this is the way I tend to tackle problems. Alex, what are you thinking for yours?
so not surprisingly, my biggest is in style.
I figured that as soon as you were talking about your character. Styles driven towards recognition and in a fashion totally unique and impressive, regardless of witnesses.
Yeah, and then so I put a 4 in there, and then a 2 in each of the following: daring, feeling, renown, and scheme.
Okay, so kind of a little bit evenly distributed amongst those. I think we've done daring.
We've done pretty
feeling
much
is-
all of them except for calm is the thing.
Yeah.
And that tracks.
Feeling, I don't think we've read, is driven by emotion, whether to feel that. No, so we did a feeling. Somebody did feeling. Yeah, we already did that one. Yeah, I think we've done most of them except for calm at this
Nimble.
point. Yeah, which calm, though nobody has taken it, is driven to create or promote calmness and order, and to subdue chaos or minimize confrontation. Yeah, doesn't sound like you guys are going to be doing that very much. All
to
right.
maximize
So you guys have
confrontation.
those. Those are your locked in impulses right now. You can increase your impulses during the game by spending potential. You have to spend 3 potential in order to increase an impulse by 1 from this point forward. The cool thing that I like about this game, we'll get into potential because it can also be used to buy spells, is that instead of getting experience at the end of the game, you guys get your potential at the beginning of the game. So I will give you guys all 10 potential to start the game, and you get to spend that potential. Normally, like for long-term campaigns, it recommends like 3 to 5. For one shots, it recommends 10. So that's what I'm going to do today. You can spend that potential whenever it's relevant. So before you make a roll. So if you decide when we're getting up to like that, you want to spend 3 points to give yourself calm because you didn't have that beforehand, and then roll with that one with calm for that roll, you can do that. You just have to do it before you would roll for it. And you can you can only buy 1 level at a time though. That's the only rule. The other thing you can do with potential is to buy spells. When you cast a spell at some point, you get to choose whether or not you want to make it permanent. You spend 1 potential to make that spell permanent, and you can spend 1 point of potential into that spell to increase it by its level 1 for 1, up to 6. But right now, we're going to go ahead and create your guys' starting spells. Which the way we do that is you guys will pick the impulse that you would like to use as the sort of focus for your spell. Probably want to pick one of your better ones, because it sort of embodies who you are. The first spell that you guys create, because you're all going to make 2, is going to embody, or it's going to represent, the first spell that you ever cast. The second spell you make is going to represent your go-to, whatever it is, like whatever your spell of choice is. And we create these spells by rolling one of your impulses. The only thing we're going to do different than we would do normally is you get to take one of the dice and lock it in at 6, and then you roll the rest. So if you have a 4 in an impulse, then you're going to have 6, and you're going to roll 3d6, and then add those together, and then you get to spell out the word based on the letters you get. David already made his, so we're gonna go with David's first, and then we're gonna actually roll for everybody else's. So David, what spells did you end up with? What was the first spell that Charles ever cast?
All right, so that was in focus, and let me pull it up. But yeah, so the first spell he ever cast was Gorilla.
So that explains the appearance of why, because that's something we get into also, is that any spells you make permanent sort of affects you. If you have like a fire-based spell, part of your body may like glow from that point. You may have like glowing fingertips or something. If you cast a spell like stretch, then or grow, you may end up with like long, like out of proportion arms, or like you might be a little bit lankier, or might have stretch marks along your body, something like that. If you cast a spell lemon, you might turn to a fucking lemon. So yeah, stuff like that. So you have Gorilla as your first one, and you used focus to cast that. And so are you imagining more that's like actually like turning into like a gorilla, like more like transformative, or like gorilla aspects, or what are you thinking?
I was thinking it was kind of maybe the first time a bit more transformative, like you know, it wasn't super permanent, but I can it left me a little gorilla like. And yeah,
and then later on you can cast a spell to glue things together.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I think I just did that like because I'd already been a well-educated person and whatnot, and was into I was doing naturalist studies and studying gorillas, and then cast a spell gorilla.
Perfect. Now, what is the second spell that you created? What is your go-to?
That is under reason, and the spell is memory.
Okay.
And that kind of goes into the study of like human thought and whatnot.
I like it. And now, so once you make those, obviously they're tied to a specific impulse, and then you guys get to increase the level of those spells, which function like impulse. Whenever you roll for a spell, you're going to roll a number of dice equal to that spell's level. to try to use it. So you guys have to allocate a number of points so that they add up to 4. So you can do 2 and 2, you can do 3 and 1. But the total amount has to be 4 between those 2 spells. So what did you do for your spells levels?
I did 2 and 2 for them.
2. Okay. And then, like Dave was saying, like gorilla being tied to focus. The reason why that's important is that later on, if you take spirit damage, your focus can be like temporarily lowered, or any of your impulses can be reduced. If your focus is reduced to 0, you can no longer cast gorilla. You don't have access to that spell anymore until you've regained those points. Probably won't get into too much of that today, but that's one of the mechanics of the game. The good news is, though, the spells level is not impacted by how many points you have in focus. As long as you have 1, you can still use that spell. All right, who wants to roll first? Alex,
Give it a shot.
Okay, what impulse are you going to use to cast your first spell?
So is it recommended to be our strongest impulse, or?
Probably. I mean, you can use whatever you want, but it makes sense for it to be your strongest because it's the best embodiment of like your character.
So with style, I've got a 4 in that. So you said 1 is automatically a 6, and then I roll 3d6.
Yes. So roll 3d6.
I got 9. So
Okay,
that's 15 total.
All right, I'm going to deal out 15 tiles. And here we go.
I'm so excited.
All right, there you are. Those are your 15.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way we're going to do this for the people at home is we're going to give the people, everybody who's being dealt gets a chance to figure things out for themselves and decide where they want to go. And then we can open it up and work as a group if the person wants to do that. We're going to make this as collaborative as we can, but I also want to give everyone a chance to come up with their own spells. Anyone watching, you guys are on a little bit of a delay. I would recommend not just shouting out spells unless we start asking the chat for recommendations, just because it's going to get... we want to give everybody a chance to puzzle it out.
So... I'm not seeing too many really long words. I did see punny, which, just given me as a player, may be the way to go. But yeah, I'm just looking to see if there are any longer words in here. Let's see, I suppose I could try like a Scrabble solver. Or should we not use any of those?
I'm going to recommend that you guys just come up with them on your own, because I think it's going to be more fun that way. The other thing we'll talk about too, because I think I said this before the stream started, and I was actually wrong on that, is that you guys can force spells by misspelling things. I was under the impression that you can't keep those. I was re-looking at that section of the spell book and the spell section, and it doesn't actually say you can't keep spells that you forced.
Mm-hmm.
So you can force a spell by intentionally misspelling something, but it's going to have bad consequences when you cast it, because you're fucking with it. Forcing spells means you can intentionally spell it wrong. You could flip letters around. You can do a bunch of wild stuff with anything you can to force it to say what you want to say. You can also do phrases. If you want to do phrases, you can do well-established acronyms. If you want to do that, you can do proper nouns of places, things like that, as long as you can justify it, as long as it's accepted by the group.
Yeah, I think unless someone has seen a word in here that is very long and uses most of the letters, I think I'm going to go with punny.
I have one that's not longer, but it's funny.
Sure.
Packy. P-A-C-H-Y.
So we have an elephant. And
You just summon elephants?
I saw decide
Ignore
as
me.
well.
Side, yeah.
I saw Xanadu.
What does that even do?
You conjure roller skates.
or disco, or
Always got
in
my eye on you.
Xanadu, you could summon a muse. That's what
Can you
she was. I know about this movie.
Isn't that the next line in the song? I've got my eye on you.
No idea.
I think so.
Mhm.
Can you turn
Yeah.
Xanadu into like a scrying spell?
There's also, I did see Hyena. I've got Punny. There's obviously Penny.
Candid was in there, right?
You also have
Yeah.
Cupid.
Mm.
A little naked baby could pop out and start shooting people with arrows.
Oh.
Just
Attack, baby.
Not all these have to be summon-based spells too. You can also justify other uses of this.
Punch is in there, or punched.
Yeah.
I have Punchy.
Muscle wizard.
muscle wizard. Muscle
Oh,
wizard
I do
casts
it-
fist.
You could do dead.
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 Or died.
Yeah.
It's also like hide
Power
or
word
hidden,
kill.
God.
or
yeah.
Undead is
Ooh,
undead in there.
hide.
Undead
Hide
is in there.
Hide. You could go invisible,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he's more.
Yeah,
he wants to
given
be extremely
style.
visible.
Extremely
Yeah.
Nuanced.
Ooh, yeah, nice one.
Again, that
mean-
seems like the opposite
Yeah.
of
All right.
Cad.
CAD.
Just Cad.
Chad.
Chad.
You
Chad.
become a
You
Chad.
become Chad.
Oh.
Was it the Chad?
It is
it
going to
Chad?
take us 17 years to make these
Okay, so
spells.
I should put a
This
timer
entire
on these
stream. I was
at
gonna say
some
this
point.
entire stream is just us. It's gonna be us coming up with
Okay,
spells.
I think if we do Punchy, but then
Punchy.
it's always very stylized.
Oh, I love
The-
The
that.
showman in the punchiness.
I will say the chat did point out dance, which is another.
Wait, can you do
But-
Xanadu and dance? No.
Xanadu and dance.
They could be like multiple. Oh yeah, you don't have enough letters. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancey? No, I think we'll just go with dance.
I
Because
was
that's
just looking
probably
to see
the
if I
most
could do it.
stylistic one.
Yeah, I was like, can we do flash dance? No.
Yeah.
You could do.
So then I guess on the sheet I should put in parentheses
wait.
the impulse.
Yeah. What are you doing?
So have
You could do punch
hands.
dance.
Punch dance.
Punch
All right,
dance.
so-
Wait. We saw. Everyone saw the new not Jungle Book. The other one. Robin Williams gets stuck in a board game.
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Jumanji. Yeah,
Punch dancing.
Not Jungle Book, Jumanji.
I will say if you do that, then it is a force spell, which means it'll have negative consequences if you use it.
Mm.
But if you just want to go with dance, we can do that.
Yeah, so probably just dance, and then it's. Should I wait until I do my second spell to figure out the levels?
Yeah. Wait till you do both to figure out the levels. So it's dance, and then in parentheses put whatever style if that's what
Yep.
you're using for it. So I'm gonna recall these.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and you guys want to go around, everybody do the first one, then everybody does their second one, so it's not
Sure.
so we can.
Sure.
God, we might not actually get to the one shot today,
Don't
guys. This
care,
might be
this
the
is
whole
fun.
thing.
Making spells. It's just so much fun.
We should just sit around and play Scrabble, I guess.
Pretty much.
I'm steadily getting rid of puzzles that I have planned for you guys. The longer this goes on for. All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Do it.
Okay. What are you
I'm gonna
using?
do grit.
Mhm.
So I have 4.
Okay, so roll 3d6.
Okay. Oh, I got 11, 12, 13.
Okay, plus that's without.
That's
the
with the
additional
6, yeah.
That's with the 6. Okay,
That's the total of the 4 dice. One of them being
Okay.
a 6.
gotcha. So 13.
Math. I was told there was letters. I was not told there was math.
All right.
Oh, ah!
You got some high value Scrabble tiles in there.
I don't fucking. You know I don't know how to play Scrabble. Hey. My cue alone. Arr. Can I do anything with this Q?
What was the impulse you used again? For the
Grit.
chat.
How about
Grit.
win? I win. I win the game.
It's a great spell. It's just you can only use it the one time.
No, I just win and that's it. Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything out of these guys. Now all I can think of is
Do the
You're
Lady
summoning a
Gaga
ghost.
raw.
the ultimate grit. Sand.
You want to open it up for suggestions?
I'm thinking.
I do like sand though for grit.
I like sand a lot. I also accidentally spelled wino, which is just funny. Yeah, shout him out.
There's drawn or drown.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, drowned.
drown.
That would be really interesting.
Really
I don't know what you
scary.
would do with this, but there's innard, I think, or innards. Innards.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd my end go? I lost it. Oh. Yeah.
I mean, you have words and
I
word
do have
Yeah.
words.
And wizard.
Wizard.
As a
there's
book
sow or
friend.
sown,
I do like.
soar.
I do like innards.
sword.
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 Or dino.
Dino. These are good.
You also have DNA.
I do have DNA.
I know DNA.
Got
You just
DNA
start Jurassic
and
Park.
RNA. I can make a person. Science. IQ. That seems like a waste.
If you cast wizard, does the game implode? Chat asks.
Probably.
Yeah. What you do is you just create another one of yourself. Darn.
Sworn.
Sworn is good. I don't know. It's only 4 letters. I'm kind of stuck on sand.
Okay.
Sand. Okay, sand gives a lot of like open
Sand.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
you could use that in so
From
many
just,
ways.
like, pocket sand to
Pockets.
like some Naruto level shit. Like
Quicksand is a thing.
Mhm.
Immediately
Well,
when I saw that Q, I was like, God, fuck. Wait. If I turn any of these sideways,
Listen.
do they look like a K? No. I think I'm gonna do sand.
I like sand. I like sand too. Again, sometimes the like shorter, more vague words give you more opportunity because there are optional rules which we can enforce that like whatever the initial intent of the spell is the only thing it can do. But we're not using that rule. You guys can kind of loosely interpret it each time you cast it to do different things. Like we were talking about with David, it's like summons gorilla or gets gorilla arms or uses gorilla glue. Cool. So sand with grit. That was your first spell. Sid had to walk away. So LB, we're gonna do yours.
I rolled a 12 total.
All right. I'm
I
gonna
made
recall
Naruto.
these.
Naruto.
Perfect. Goodbye, Naruto.
Bye, Naruto.
Shuffle. You got 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask
There
a
you go.
question about the tiles?
Yeah.
Is this like a Scrabble where there's like less of certain letters?
Yes. Yeah, there's a certain ratio. There's 110, 111 letters or something like that in the entire thing. I had to make a deck for this.
So like a
There's
Scrabble deck?
107 letters. And there are a lot more like A's and E's and I's and stuff. More vowels and then
Cool.
Got my spell.
Of course.
Very specific.
Now, it's not as specific as you would think because a bust can be a lot of different things.
Mhm.
You
What
can
impulse
just
did
start
you
creating
use?
statues.
I used the dignity one. The renown.
Renown? Okay.
Everybody's renowned for something.
Yeah. My family was very specific about what they wanted me to do.
You're one off from tuxedo, and I'm really mad about it.
I know, I did see that.
You could also do butts.
I could do butts. Alex, if you watched my last stream, I'm not into butt stuff.
Right, yep. You did announce that for the world.
Let's see. Bow. Woo.
Woo!
Trust.
Woot.
Ooh. Woot. Rub.
Woot. Wood. Stud.
I was gonna say
Good.
stub. That's like a curse.
Mm. I kind of like trust.
Okay. I think that works well with renown too. This is
Mhm.
the two coinciding there. More of like a charm sort of
Mhm.
spell. I like that. You want to
I
go with
like
that?
the idea that your first spell is like a charm spell to get people to trust
Yeah.
you, and mine was like, there's sand in my pockets.
Yeah.
Pocket sand.
Where did this come from?
All right. So
And they're level
trust. Well, we're not gonna do levels just
Okay.
yet. Once you have your second one, then you distribute the levels between the two.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna recall these and all right, shuffle. Sid, what ability or what impulse are you gonna use?
I'm gonna do scheme. So
Scheme.
that's
Okay.
4.
4. All right. So you go ahead and
Do
roll.
one with 6 and then roll 3 of them.
Yeah,
So one's
3d6
a
plus 6. 3d6
Okay.
plus 6 essentially.
5, 7, 10, 16.
Crap. Okay. I'm gonna deal 16 out. If we don't
Woof.
get sour or
I am. They are going to be citrus. They must be
Well,
citrus themed.
you got a
Ooh,
wild card.
I
so
got a
that's-
wild card. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Oh, that wild card opens up so many possibilities. Okay.
Yes, those in the chat. We just had MK join us. Sid is
Okay.
playing
Oh,
a literal anthropomorphic lemon.
Now that she is here, this was also partially inspired by MK in the chat because she created a way for you to play an anthropomorphic fruit in 5e.
Oh, perfect.
You can-
Well,
Yeah,
there we go.
you can check out her out. MK is literally the best. All right, man. I've got mead. I'm trying to go. I'm holding myself back with only doing citrus things. Let's see. Do I have any R's? No.
You got one fake R.
Do have one fake R. Thick.
Oh, use the question mark as the second C.
How did you know?
You could make the P into an R by forcing it. Since it kind of looks like an R, unless I'm misunderstanding the rules.
Yeah, I would say that would be close enough. It just has to look close enough to it.
Then you take the I and you just rotate it for the.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if you take the I and you combine it with the P to make it look like an R, then we're smooth sailing.
Okay.
I was looking for like drop and
Yeah. There's
Head.
dive. There's
It has nothing to do with lemons, but if you use your wild, you can spell the word haptic,
haptic. I could.
deriving from touch. I just like that word.
I mean, that's a good word. All right, I'm open for it. Give me what you got, friends.
I think that's how you could do evicted.
Evict is fun.
Oh,
If you
I've
use-
got it. I've got it. Yeet.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeet.
you use your wild.
You could do pied. I don't know if that's helpful, but I mean, they're lemon pies, right?
Lemon meringue.
Yes, lemon ring.
Heck yeah.
yeah.
And
should
You
make
also have themed, and I don't know.
Just make anything lemon themed, citrus themed. You could also make WebMD. I don't know why that popped into my head.
I feel like I have to use the Q because I have the wild for you. Like
Quid.
what's
Quip?
that? Oh, quip.
Oh, I said
You-
quid. That's just money.
You could also
Just have
do
money.
Twitch or Witch.
Twitch. It's hard when it's your turn. When it's
It
your
is hard
friend's
when it's
turn,
your
it's
turn.
like super easy. Like you just, figure it all out. But when it's your turn, it's hard.
Quiet.
Yeah, chat says quiet.
Like just everyone shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Like a silence spell.
Yeah.
Or
That could be cool.
Sneaky.
You could also do
Ooh, I like
wet.
sneak.
You could do wet and quiet.
Oh Lord.
You're one letter
Okay.
short of being able to do moist.
Tweed.
I could do quiet and weed.
Quiet weed.
You can spell
Um,
quiche.
Quiche.
I like quiet. Does sound.
Quiet could be fun because that could be used in a
Useful.
variety of ways.
Yeah.
It's not
I
citrus
definitely
themed,
like
but you're
quiet.
teeny.
But again, we did work into this backstory that the citrus was not necessarily your doing. So
That's
maybe the
very
first
fair.
spell you would have gotten to the academy, to the college, based on your abilities as a speaker before you got turned into a lemon. So we've got one more shot to get you a lemon-based spell as your
Okay.
go-to for your second one.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Then I'm gonna say quiet and what's
You
one
don't
more
have to
thing?
do.
I don't
you
have to do a
both
cross.
spells. No, you just do the one word for this first spell, and then we'll roll again for your second one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with quiet then.
Okay. All right. So you go quiet, and then you put which is the ability you're rolling with?
What's it called? Scheme.
Scheme. Okay, perfect. I think those work well together too. So you put quiet and then in parentheses put scheme so you know which one is tied to. All right, we're going to do this one more time for everyone.
What do we do when someone inevitably just draws letters at Spell Cthulhu?
No!
That's the end of the game.
I am also realizing that I could have spelled teeth, but we're not going to go there either. Anyway, continue.
All right. Who went first? Who's going now? Because I think we did, but
Alex.
we went through both of David's. So
Yeah. So then, I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be 2d6. So one's a 6, and then
one's a 6, yeah. And it can be the same ability. It doesn't have to be a different one.
Okay. Then, okay, so then yeah, I think in that case I will do style. So let me re-roll that. So that's going to be another 3d6 plus 6. Again, I got 9, so that's 15.
Okay. All right. Oh, also got a wild card for you. Coming.
Saw Chris. Your spells could be Chad and Chris.
Now I could do citrus.
No!
Um,
Not fair!
let's see. I think I
Checks mix.
Yeah, let's see. Could do Nexus, which could be any number of things. Oh, I don't even need to use the wild for that. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Okay, I thought I had a second N, but I can do this with the wild. I could do Annex, just be like, that is mine now.
Do
Yeah, savvy.
Texas.
I have a similar suggestion to my last one. Walrus. Do you have an M? Oh, no, you don't.
I mean, I could flip the W. I could do Cirrus and do clouds.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
If you use the wild, you could do exhaust.
Ooh. I was actually just looking at kind of the opposite, or not quite the opposite, but I could do enhance.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and I think with style that could be very good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any benefit to making it longer, making it enhances?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no, you don't get more points for longer, like more abilities, longer stuff. If anything, more simple phrases or words probably doesn't limit you as much.
Yeah. I do see in the chat with the wild I could do yeehaw.
You could also do Texas, which you don't
Yeah.
need to use the wall, or no, you do need to use the wall for that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'll go with enhance.
Enhance. All right.
Yeah.
So
As much as I want to
enhance-
keep playing with the letters, we should.
Yeah. We should move on and actually get to the game at some point. Okay, so enhance with
Both my
style.
spells are something ants. I've got dance and enhance.
We got a theme. So you will so you have both your spells. This is your go-to spell. Which I think works for your character. You will then as far as the levels for these two spells, it needs to just total up to 4. So
Okay.
2 and 2, 3 and 1, and you get to choose which ones is which level.
Yeah, I think I'll do enhance 3, dance 1.
So I'm gonna shuffle them again. Who's
And
next?
the
Savannah.
levels do, sorry, real quick, what do the levels do for the spell again?
So it's the same thing as with your impulse. When you use your spell to overcome something, to accomplish something, you're going to roll a number of d6s equal to that spell's
Level. Got it. Okay.
So I rolled with Hope this time, and I got
Okay.
15.
Nice. All right. So we've got some pretty high rolls. Which I guess makes sense since you're doing that +6.
Did you not get any vowels?
Got a Y.
Yeah.
Nope. There's a Y.
Can you do the carryover for these words, or is it only when you're
you
casting?
can only use the carryover if you didn't make a spell on your first attempt. And since these are your starting spells, I don't think you can do that anyway. I'll double check the rules, but yeah, normally if you're unable to make a spell, then you can or unable to cast a spell, you can carry over. You can hold on to a certain number of letters, and then the next time you try to cast a spell, you can try using. You can use those as well. I'm gonna double check what happens if, for some reason, you can't make a spell out of these, but.
TM.
And Sean did mention if it was like an initial or an acronym that is well known.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
TM.
I wasn't looking.
TM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can trademark things with your. Suddenly, that's mine.
I have
That's mine. I
two.
own that. What?
I have 2.
Oh yeah.
Do you want help?
Yeah.
Try and myth.
I had shy and cry.
Yeah, I had shy.
Cry. Like
Cry.
Cry.
Ooh, with sand, you could do dry.
True.
Mm.
Ooh.
Just. It's mine now. That's mine.
I do like dry.
Right. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, this sucks.
Maybe she has a habit of spilling on her books. That's her go-to. Dry.
Dry them up.
Maybe.
Or if you do short without the vowel and it's just you're shortening the spell.
Oh.
Or shirt.
No.
Your shirt.
Shite.
Oh, sure.
Shite.
That, though.
Thy.
I just saw BTK. Don't want to go there.
Oh no. No. I'll flip the T upside down so it's an L and I'll make BLT.
You have a delicious lunch anytime.
Oh, wait. Here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. Fantasy worm. Fantasy dragon.
Those are the ones with wings. The fun kind of
Are
ones.
those ones without wings? I don't know.
No,
That's what
they're
I
the
use.
Wings,
ones-
no front arms, right?
They don't have front arms.
Yes.
Uh,
I could pretend this is an O and then it's just a regular worm. I'm doing this. I don't care if it never comes
yeah,
up.
no, that's
Do
that's a
it.
good one.
Okay, so I did roll with hope. So all I do all the time is walk around saying, I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart.
Wait, you rolled that with hope?
Yes,
Okay, that's actually so. Yeah,
I hope for
you
dragon.
hope for dragon.
Doing it, you can't stop me.
Perfect. No, I love it. I love it so much.
Wait,
okay.
hold on.
You almost have shawarma.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yes. Yeah. I thought of shawarma earlier too. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I don't.
Then you
have
said
any of these,
BLT. I was like, okay.
All right, we good? Can I
though. A
recall
little
these?
yeet. Yeah, take this
Yeah.
away from me, please.
All right. Okay, so you have that, and then you can also divide it up, whatever levels you want between those.
I obviously want all of them to be in the one that's a dragon. I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna split 2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right. LB, you're next.
Yeah, I rolled a 13.
13. All right. Oh boy. You got all the vowels.
Oh, sorry, Savvy. And
Well,
like
that's where all my
16
vowels went.
Ts.
I've
Also,
seen
my
a couple of
sister's
things
in the
that
chat.
would be
Hi,
upsetting.
Alex.
Hi, said sister.
Hello.
I mean, you got money.
Hell yeah.
Money.
All right, I rolled this with feeling. Once more with feeling.
How many times have we gotten teeth at this point? Because I feel like it's been a
A
few.
couple.
This is at least the third time, I think.
Teeth. Wish I had gotten teeth.
I want to try to do something like with like something sweet or I don't have any.
Honey.
Ooh,
Yep.
You do
got
have honey.
do you have
You also have Mothman. I'm just throwing that out there. You have Mothman.
Oh my god.
You guys got all the
Yeah,
good
the brain
letters.
just went, or
Mothman?
I always forget,
honey
Savvy.
makes
Is that a
sense.
no-go for you? Or
No,
okay?
Mothman. I love Mothman.
Okay.
I love two moths specifically, and they're Mothra and Mothman. And the every other moth can fuck off.
Every
You
other
do
moth.
also have Monet.
Oh.
No, there's no apostrophe.
I don't think he had an apostrophe.
I don't think he did. Maybe Monet. did.
Emo.
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 Emote.
Emote. Ooh.
Oh, that's also a good one.
That's
Make
good.
someone start doing the floss.
Oh jeez.
They have to do the basic Fortnite dances. Emote hot man.
Yeah.
Emote
Yes.
hot man.
Yeah.
Or emo hot man.
Emo hot man.
Oh boy.
Eat emo hot man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
emo hot man.
Oh Lord.
Hate.
Got a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to go with, LB?
I will go with. Fuck it, let's do Mothman.
Yes. Yes.
All
yes.
right.
Yes.
You got Mothman.
This was with feeling.
Yeah. You got your worm, I got Mothman.
Where is that gif of Brian David Gilbert saying everyone thinks Mothman is sexy? I'm gonna find it.
We'll
and
find
post
it.
it in chat.
All right, we are on, and then you divide your points, 4 points between the two of those, or 4 levels between the two of those.
Your go-to is Mothman. I love it.
All right, so Sid,
We are
let's
gonna be
shuffle for yours.
unstoppable.
I think
Okay.
we're gonna do this last one. I think we're gonna go ahead and take our break now, and then we're just gonna plunge through
Go.
the truncated one shot that I'm gonna have for you guys now.
Okay, so I will roll with, you know what? I'm gonna roll with Hope 2. Why not? So that's 3. So I would roll 2 and then 1 is a 6, right?
Yes. 2d6 plus 6.
Okay, so 5 and a 4 is 9 plus 6 is 15.
Good lord. All right.
Here we go.
Also got some vowels here.
Vowels are good. Vowels are good. Oh man, I think I already know what I've got. Yes. I know
Oh,
I saw
you
it
do
in
not.
there. I know I saw it in there. Damn it. No, I don't. I thought I saw a C. God damn it. I was gonna say juicy. Let's see. Feel free to yell them out, friends. What do you got for me?
Written journey. Yeti.
Yeti. Oxen.
Next. Oxen.
Exit.
Toxin.
Ooh.
Strong
Considering
enough
she
dose as
is
lemon juice.
could be a toxin.
Do you have Rhine?
Do I have Ryan?
Almost. No D.
Ah, dang it.
Oh, there's a D.
There's no D. No. It's like I wanted a G. I could do ring. Like I so thought one of those O's was a C. I was like juice, but no, it didn't happen for me.
Jury.
Winter.
Winter.
Teat.
Okay.
I did also see teat.
Toy.
Toy. We might have to go with
Torn.
we might have to go with toxin, friends.
Mm-hmm.
I
Toxin
hope
with hope.
to poison you.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Toxin with hope, and you also decide how you want to allocate those. So, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and do our break here in a second. You guys all have 10 potential, which use as liberally as you want in the next 2 hours or so that we'll have when we get back to get through this adventure. Yeah, any other questions about character creation before we get started? Nope.
With the raising the spell levels, like if I wanted to take mine from a 2 to a 3, would that cost me 3 points or 1 point?
No, that's 1 point. It's one for
Okay.
one for spells. Yeah. So you guys can go ahead and spend some potential if you want to increase your spells and increase your impulses and stuff like that. If you want to go ahead and do that, or you can save it and use it as you need it later on. But it's free to use at any point during the game. All right. Cool. Yeah, let's go and take our break and do all that, and we're gonna come back and get to our little adventure here, guys. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see how fun the adventure is that I planned, but this is already so much fun just making characters. If that ends up bombing, we're just gonna make more characters in the second half and just come up with more spells. So yeah, hang out with us, everyone, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. So see you soon. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break. We've all got drinks and snacks, and we're all ready to go. We've got our characters made. I think we're just going to jump into it, unless anybody's got any questions that you came up with during the break. No? All right. So, let's get started. The day begins with the gentle chiming of bells on the Wordsmiths Collegiate Institute campus along the autumn countryside of Lingua Franca. The chatter of student speakers shuffling their way across the ancient cobblestones carries along the breeze, students gripping cowls and caps to see them for being carried away in turn. There is an almost tangible excitement in the air. It's the end of the first week of study after the fall break, and today you receive your first group speaker assignments. A tall woman with impressive auburn sideburns stands at the wide-set stairs leading up to the entrance of the main hall, and she barks out in a bellowing voice. Students not in chairs by the hour will clean erasers by hand for the next 3 weeks. She calls out another word, swell, and the breeze around her begins to pick up, carrying across the chimes, lining the alcoves of the courtyard and over the students once again. Immediately, they all scramble to clutch their fleeing papers and rush to the entrance of the building. The courtyard settles and calms as the door shuts, and the last students make their way inside. Bam! Another door leading out from the small outbuilding slams open, and a small group of harried students sprint across the courtyard to the main building hall as the 8 o'clock bells begin to chime. The 5 of you, late for class. You enter the hall of study as the last chimes of the bell echo into the courtyard, to the rueful looks of several students glancing over their shoulders in your direction. At the head of the hall, Professor Merriam taps a finger on her pedestal, her fingernail sharply clacking against the wood. There's a long silence before she yells out at you, "Sit!" And 5 of you hurry to your chairs. Towards the end of class, the professor turns up from the book to make she's reading out of to make an announcement. The postings for your first speaker assignments are available in the courtyard. First come, first serve. Make sure your assignments are completed by the start of class next week. Dismissed. The students pour out of the hall in a hurry into the courtyard, but the professor barks your names in turn, preventing you from leaving. I'm going to read off your names because I need to remember them for the for the game. God, and Alex, yours is first, and I have no idea how to pronounce your last name.
Conjurites.
Conjurites. Mr. Conjurites, Mr. Wedgwood, Miss Nimloth, Miss Dawson, Miss Maya.
I tried to sneak out, just run as fast as my little lemon legs could carry me before she said my name. Damn.
You all stop at the edge of the door and turn to see her and approach. She addresses you all with a scornful look. Late. On assignment day, no less. We expect better from our speakers. Much better.
I'm sorry, I had to have an extra set of pancakes this morning. I was so hungry.
Any other excuses?
I was sort of thinking that perhaps if you searched your memory a bit harder, you would realize we weren't late. And I'm going to try and cast memory.
Okay, but you have to sing the song.
No, and that's
Never mind. I take it back. I'm not doing it anymore.
All right, you're going to cast memory. This is a contested check with a character who I have no stats for because I wasn't expecting you to fight her.
I am going to spend a potential to go ahead and get memory up to a 3 from a 2.
Okay. All right, yeah, she's going to contest with her. I think got to go into contested roll first. I wasn't expecting to get to that until at least 10 minutes from now. Hold on, because I think she rolls first as the defender. Damn you, David. Let's see.
Do you not expect this from him by now?
I should. I don't know why I don't. Okay. She is going to roll. I'm going to say reason to defend against your mental manipulations. She's going to roll 3 dice. And that gets to set the DC of this check. Or not the DC. God, too much D&D on my brain. It sets the difficulty for this check. So she rolled a 1 and a 4. So the difficulty in this check is a 4. So go ahead and roll your spell.
Oh, I need 4 successes.
No, you only need to roll a 4 or higher on one of the dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I got 2. I got a 6 and a 4.
All right. So you are manipulating her memory to say that everyone was on time or just you?
Everyone. And if there's someone I don't like in the class, I'll make her think that they were late. But
Chad and Chris.
All right. Okay. There's a moment where you have to speak this spell because it's not a subtle thing to cast these. So how do you do this? Give me a little bit of the.
yeah, I think I'll just say I think I'll kind of do it. There's like if you just search your memory, you would remember we were all on time.
Perfect.
And in fact, it was Walter that was late today. I don't know how you confused all of us for Walter, but that seems to be a you problem.
There's a moment where you can see the magical energies rippling around her head as her finger stops wrapping on the pedestal. She shakes her head. She says, "I don't like your attitude, young man, but
I don't like
I
being
don't know.
falsely accused of things I haven't done. If you'd let me leave, I'd like to go get my assignment."
I don't know how I made that mistake. Excuse me." And she goes running out of the front of the room and out to the courtyard, bursting open the door. She says, "Walter Chabcris, where are you?" And you see a young boy running off the other direction away from the assignment board trying to get away. So you guys are free from eraser duty.
Good job, Charles.
Nim. We gotta go. We gotta get our assignments. Piggyback.
Sure, go ahead. I'll hold a hand down.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Uh,
All right.
do
You
we
all-
have to run?
Yes.
Mm.
Already been rather delayed. Let me see if I can speed us up a bit. And I would like to enhance our speeds.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I don't think that's a difficult check. So we'll say that's another medium or medium difficulty. So go ahead and roll your enhance spell.
Okay. I guess I got 3? I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
because you rolled 2 once, and the highest roll you had was a 3.
Okay.
So that is a failure on that. Trying to decide where we go from there. So I think you're running towards it, and you just yell out enhance, or what is?
Yeah, we must be graceful and enhance ourselves like gazelles, intending for us to be able to leap and bound and...
You say this, and you call out this word, and there's this magical energy that ripples out from your hands, and from your mouth, and as you do, there's almost like a shift in the breeze, and you lose control of the magics for a second, and instead it streams across the courtyard and impacts Walter Chadcris, and he just goes bounding away from Professor Merriam at an impossible speed, your magic having missed its mark.
Well, drat.
And as you all run up to the board, there's still a crowd of students that are like pushing away from the board, and you're trying to get your way through. And the crowd parts just as the 5 of you make it up. And there's another small sort of gust of wind that carries through as you see a almost completely empty assignment board in front of you, with only one posting, one lone scrap piece of parchment, tagged and tattered, and pinned to the board. You rip the posting off, and you see in the paper, with a small scroll attached to it, says, "Please deliver the attached eviction notice to the residence of William W. Webster. Post haste."
Well, that's easy.
So
Especially-
boring.
Imagine if
know,
you were
but we
taken
can finish
evicted
it.
as a spell. We'd be done like that.
We're done. No, listen, it's not boring. It's great. It's very short, and then we just finish this, and then we can do whatever we want.
I always do whatever I want.
We could go get more pancakes.
I have a feeling that they didn't put this up here because it was so easy that, anyone could do it. I feel like they don't want to do it themselves.
Where are we evicting people from? What's it say?
Please deliver the attached eviction notice to the residence of William W. Webster Post Haste.
It's really helpful how they write these down and then also they talk to you. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Thanks. I've personified
This
a
parchment
scroll.
will self-destruct.
Do we want to check and
Just
see
starts
if
to
anyone
laugh on the
else
ground.
had a
Oh.
better assignment? We could try and steal theirs, give them a tradesies.
Well, why don't we just do this one?
I think I'm rubbing off on you, Charles.
The tradesies. No, why don't we just do this one? It's fine.
It's fine, sure.
What's William W.
Mothman!
Webster?
I'm
Is
gonna
this
summon
really
Mothman.
Okay, you cast Mothman. As you cry out to your insectoid deity.
5.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not a difficult thing to do. So what is your envision here? That Mothman appears behind you and helps you fly somewhere?
No, nothing quite as practical as that. It is
Okay.
I'm gonna say like a hand-sized being that I don't know if anybody who's viewing has seen like fluffy moths. They're adorable. It's basically a bipedal moth that has it looks like it has like fluffy fur all around its neck, which it's not fur. I looked it up. And he just kind of hangs out with her.
Okay, there's a brilliant flash, because what are you casting this with? Is it
Feeling.
hope? A feeling, as you wish for Mothman to appear, and there's this swirling energy around you, and this sparkles, and this huge typhoon, or this twister of magical energy coalesces around you, and then as it recedes, you're expecting this glorious summon to appear. Instead, just resting on Nimloth's shoulder is just tiny little moth person.
Aww.
Just goes, ha.
It's VK size.
So is
Hey,
Mothman gonna
Mothman.
help us?
Yes, why did you do this?
I missed him.
He could go get you more pancakes.
We can't look at the size. We could carry a pancake if his life depended on it.
Hey,
I
you
can
don't
carry as
know-
many pancakes as I want to.
Yeah,
Are you
don't
saying
know
I
how
can't carry
strong
pancakes?
Mothman is?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know how strong Mothman is. I'm unfamiliar.
You
Not
guys
very
are
strong.
yelling.
We're not yelling.
Mothman just leans in and hugs the side of your face as you're upset, Nimloth.
Okay, so are we gonna accomplish something today?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just here
I-
for emotional support.
Yeah.
He's my
Great.
emotional support moth.
We might need it. We
I-
are kicking someone out of their house. I suspect it's going to be an emotional time for everyone.
That might be nice. I will garner us a mode of transportation. Worm! I wish with all my heart to fly
I should
with
have known,
dragons
given you
in a
guys
land apart.
summons would just immediately be everyone creating their summons.
Immediately.
in the first
You've
few
done
seconds
this.
of this game.
Can I cast a
There's
spell?
a whole section in this book for how summons are supposed to work, and
Nah.
how I'm not supposed to just let you do this, but I'm just gonna do it, and we'll figure it out later.
I rolled a 4 and a 5.
Okay, that's enough. So what is this? What is the visual here that I'm
It's a
getting?
little. Well, it's not little.
I was gonna say if you're riding on it, it's not
no,
little.
it's not little. It's a big guy. And I think he's like, what am I trying to say? Where you can kind of see through, translucent.
Yeah.
And like pink and sparkly, and I think there's just like all these sparkles and all these sparkles and all these sparkles, and then they form a worm with large sparkly wings.
Okay. And the purpose you are summoning them for is to transport you and your group.
Yeah. Dragon taxi.
All right. You all climb onto the dragon taxi.
Oh, pretty.
Am I still like on Penelope's shoulder or something? Who
Sure.
grabbed VK?
I think I did on
I think
my
Charles
hand.
did.
Okay. Charles has VK then. VK is gonna like very practiced climb up your arm and like come up to your shoulder and just sit there.
Hold on.
Perfect. Everyone climbs on the back. Just as Kanji, you're looking over, and you can just see Walter Chadcris still like leaping from building to building, trying to evade the professor as she's running around after them on the tail end of the spell that you have conjured.
You made his day, Kanji.
Oh, I better. With my magic, I've made his whole life.
Oh, okay, let's not get too extreme. Let's
I
go,
mean,
Cassie!
it could be true for Walter. Everyone knows he's a pretty boring fellow.
Why do
So.
you all hate Walter so much?
Have you ever talked with him?
Of course I have. I mean, I don't know what we talked about. I've fallen asleep every single time. But
Did we get someone in trouble?
Nope.
I mean,
Debatable.
Woo! Let's
not
go.
yet.
I would assume that if we're kicking someone out of their house, that maybe we want to be quiet about it. Are we sneaking up on them, or are we just like going over there and ripping them out of their home?
What if they're a dragon?
Well, we have a dragon.
Okay.
My question is, what's our plan here?
So, are we evicting a single person? Is this like a dorm named Walter, WWW, whatever it is?
No, this would be a person named William W. Webster that you are trying to evict from their place of residence.
Okay.
I could try and make them think they want to move out. And just get them to
And
leave.
all it says is to ensure the occupant receives the notice directly.
Oh, well, we don't even have to make sure they move out then. As the note clarifies itself to us.
Yeah.
Thanks,
As you
Nody.
guys open it and read it, and it says, "You're welcome."
Rolling back up and sticking him in my pocket. This is my new friend that I've made.
So we just have to get it to them.
Though I imagine since it's an assignment, that will be the challenge of it.
I mean, Charles could be right. It could just be some like boring stuff they don't want to do.
But we've got a week to get it done. Let's see if we can get it done today. So like you said, we can have the rest of the time to do whatever we want.
Eat pancakes.
Eat pancakes.
Or we
Mostly.
could do ice cream first.
Have you ever put
What?
ice cream on pancakes?
Yes.
How are any of you in the same classes as me? I don't understand this at all.
I just summoned a literal dragon in front of you, so suck it up, Charlie. I'm your ride.
Just saying.
Let's
You know,
go.
it's a school. It's a pancake eating competition.
But it could be. Think of all the pancakes we could eat.
As this conversation wears off, as you guys are flying, it's one of
We've
those
done
moments in a TV show where as you guys get smaller, you still hear you talking at like normal volume until you're just a dot on the horizon flying off on this worm. Do you stop and get ice cream first? Is this scene beginning with all of you guys with scoops of ice cream dripping down the side of this?
No,
Wizard's
we
back
have to
down.
figure out who William W. Webster is and where he lives.
You could try to cast ice cream. You could try to summon ice cream magically if you
Can we-
wanted to.
Try to summon William.
No,
We could try
I don't
to-
know his true name.
That's true.
We don't know what the middle W is.
Don't know
Yeah.
what the W stands for.
I'll just try every W name, but
Frighteningly enough, it's just W. Yeah.
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 so we probably either want to find or locate William W. Webster.
Yeah, there's an address on the
Mhm.
on the parchment because I need to get you guys here because we
Yep.
we don't have a lot of time. I
Fair.
just want to know if you want ice cream.
No, we're gonna go straight there. We will get ice cream. It's a reward for a job well done.
It's motivating Nimloth to actually do the assignment. You get ice cream after.
And we pick back up as the dragon descends and lands you at the bottom of a hillside, at the base of a large, sort of cartoonishly askew tower. A wizard's tower, you might say. It kind of leaning at an odd angle, the cap-like top of it sort of tilted to match the angle of the structure, and the entire tower is surrounded by a large hedge maze that surrounds the base of it. And you know this based on the address that you followed. You used your Alexa, and that is installed on the dragon. You know this is the right address.
Do we have to go through the maze?
Can't the worm fly over it?
The worm vanishes upon completing its task.
Damn it! I shouldn't have said anything.
Let's do another. Just summon another worm, fly over the maze.
You could summon another worm if you want to. We could solve this entire thing with worm flight.
Just do another one.
No, I want to do the maze.
Okay.
It'd be so
Alright.
fun.
All right.
Mazes. How big was the maze from as we looked over it?
Large. Do you want like in cubic feet or hours? It would
How's-
take to solve?
how tall are the hedges? Like how?
Hedges are like 15 feet tall. Tall enough that the average person definitely couldn't see over, and even magically taller people probably couldn't see over. And I mean, it's not the biggest hedge maze you've ever seen. It's about average for hedge mazes go.
Okay.
All right. So,
Well, you want a point of context? I don't have a lot of context for hedge mazes.
Fair.
just,
The wizard's hedge maze around his wizard's tower.
do we think it's a magic hedge maze since he's, it's got like a wizard's tower? Because if it's not magic, mazes are really easy. We just wall walk. Just do, left-hand wall walk. It's, boring, but
If he's fearing eviction, I imagine he might have set up defenses within.
Okay.
it's true.
Couldn't we just cut a really large hole down the middle of the hedge maze and just walk through?
That sounds like cheating.
It's not cheating if you use the magic. You have to know the magic to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this with my eyes closed. Mothman!
I'm gonna say Mothman hasn't actually. Nope, Mothman did emotionally support you, so it did disappear after that. Go and summon Mothman again.
I'm not summoning Mothman. I'm using
Oh,
the spell
sorry.
to become.
Yeah. Alex, you're muted.
Hold,
Twitch is showing an
please.
emote and like no camera. Oh,
Yeah,
we're
that's
back.
no, that's a connection thing. Yeah. Hold,
Looks like
please, everyone. We may have returned.
See our pretty faces again.
Yeah.
Yes.
We good?
Yes.
Give us 1 second, everybody. Okay, we'll be right back.
And welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. A couple of tech issues, but I think we are good. So, Nimloth has turned themselves into Mothman and is now walking into the maze. Are the rest of you just trying to, do you guys just navigating this maze based on your own abilities, or is somebody going to use magic?
Can we? So if we wanted to cast a new spell, we would decide what impulse we want to use, and then roll with that.
Yeah, you described to me kind of what you're trying to do with the magic. We'll decide which, you'll determine which impulse you want to use for that. You just have to argue to me that that makes sense, and then you'll roll to cast the spell.
Okay. Can I use reason to find the quickest way through this maze?
Okay, yeah, you can do that. But you want to try to magically enhance that, or try to use magic to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and roll for the actual casting of the spell. So you'll do the same thing you did before. You'll use reason, and you will just roll and add up the numbers.
Okay. So I have a 3, so I would roll 3 of them this
Roll
time.
3 dice, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The 6 was only a special thing for the first spells you guys get.
Oh, it's not that many. Okay. That's only 7.
All right, you got 7 letters to try to.
I got
figure this
7.
out. Right. There you go.
Okay. Okay. I see Rose. I see Rosie. I see hire. Can we hire an Uber through the maze? I see hosiery. Do I get bonus points for using all of the letters?
No, you don't get bonus points, but you just have to explain to me how the spell's gonna work.
Okay. Let's see. Thoughts. Oh. Horse.
And you're using impulse, or which impulse are you using for this?
I was using reason.
Reason. Okay.
So trying to
Yeah.
find.
So the basic thing is, so long as at least one word is formed and can be applied to the original goal and doesn't contradict the theme of the associated impulse, the spell is successful enough to accomplish the goal.
Okay. Can I conjure a horse that knows its way through the maze?
You guys
Or
are really
no,
just going
a
for the
really,
conjuring
really
thing.
big horse that can see over the hedges, and so we know the fastest way through the
Do-
maze.
Do rise, and then you can just float up and see.
Ooh, that's a good idea too.
I think rise.
I mean, a
to
horse
me,
is funnier.
makes a little more sense for what you're trying to accomplish here, but
I wanted a big horse. Okay, no, rise sounds good. Yes, can we rise up so we can see over the hedges and know how to get through the maze?
sure, yeah, that works. I think that works enough with reason that to like if I can see it, I can solve it. So I'd say that is a successful spell casting. So once you have cast the spell, I don't know. Let's see. So you get to decide whether you're keeping it. That's the other thing.
That sounds like it could be useful. Sure, why not?
Okay, so you spend one of your potential, and you get
Okay.
to add that spell to your list and mark everything down that you chose. And you rise up a little bit, and I think like a balloon, somebody else like maybe holding onto your ankle using VK as a little guidepost to sort of guide you through the maze as you are looking over the hedges, and you can see the pattern that is formed. That's you guys can get through the maze that way if you would like. I will say so VK with this spell, let's go ahead and roll to you're gonna actually use the spell in order to like get through the maze to accomplish to overcome the difficulty. So you're gonna roll the level of the spell. I don't know if you want to put any additional points in it to have the spell
Could I rise
So-
it up to a set? Like, yeah, I'll put a thing in it to rise it up to level 2. If that,
Okay.
Can I do that?
yeah, you can spend a potential to make it level 2. Yeah.
Okay. And so then I roll 2 dice, and I have to get 4 or higher on something.
Yeah. Where I say 4
Okay.
or higher.
I got a 6 and a 1.
Perfect. So with your little VK lemon balloon, y'all then so she's like yelling out left and right and left and right, and you begin navigating through the maze. You get like deep into it, the point where everything starts to get a little bit more quiet, and you all hear a noise echoing from somewhere further out in the maze. Sounds like a crashing noise, and you can see in the distance some like birds fly up from some sort of disruption out like towards the side of the tower. And as you get a little bit further in, you also begin to notice that some of the hedges have these big like holes in them where it's like something has pushed its way through. Pretty large, maybe about the height of like Penelope or Nimloth. But you can continue navigating unless you guys want to investigate that.
They probably just keep trying to get to the front door.
I don't.
Okay.
Penelope's probably gonna stop. Is the thing.
Yeah, if we wanted, I'm very curious as to what could do this.
Let's go look.
But I said I'd do the whole thing with my eyes closed.
Well, you don't have to look. You can stay with VK.
Okay.
I hold the string.
Do you know what we're talking about if you have your eyes closed?
I wasn't cheating if that's what you mean.
There is a roughly U-sized hole through several of the hedges.
Oh.
I told you I could have made a big horse. Maybe it's just a big horse.
Maybe. But you guys keep going because we can see VK from down here. So I want to know what this is about.
Okay, bye.
Come on, Charlie.
Okay, Nim,
Right?
left. No, you're left. Sorry, I'm turned.
Sorry.
She runs into the hedge and then like
So-
feels her way forward.
VK and Nimloth are continuing to navigate the maze, and Kanji, Penelope, and Charles are gonna investigate.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. The those of you that go to investigate begin to push your way through the holes that have been like sort of burrowed through the maze here. You do notice there are some tracks on the ground, like hoof tracks, leading through the maze. And so as you're following this, and Nimloth and VK, you hear their voices sort of disappearing in the distance. Eventually, you reach a point where the maze kind of clears out. It's like a junction between a few of the intersections here, and you see a section of the ground, the earth that has been sort of dug up in a big like swath, and there's some debris that has sort of been piled up here, forming a little like hovel on the ground. And the three of you on the other side of this wall that you're coming around the edge of, you hear a noise. Kind of sounds like it's sort of like some padding at the pawing at the ground and stuff.
And I know what it is through my study of biology.
You can
focus
try to do
roll?
that, yeah. Focus.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say this is a hard roll. We'll say this is a normal roll.
All right.
Just need a 4 or higher.
Yeah, I got 1-6.
Perfect.
That's it.
Yeah, you see the ground. You notice some like spines in the ground. The hoof prints along the edge, and the sounds that the creature's making, and you begin to like put a few things together, and you know what this creature is. It's a creature that sort of lives very frequently, actually, specifically in hedge mazes. It's a hedgehog.
It's just a hedgehog, everyone. I mean, mystery
They're
solved.
incredibly dangerous, vicious creatures created
Are
through
we-
unspeakable magic.
Are we talking about like a hedgehog, like what we think of as a hedgehog? Are we talking about like a hedgehog, as in
Hog.
like a spiny pig?
Hmm.
Okay.
I
So,
Magic.
I mean,
Somebody spoke it into existence.
Words are fun.
Somebody somewhere tried to create a hedgehog and create a hedgehog.
mystery
Yeah.
solved. You know, we want to keep going at this.
You hear the snorting stop on the other side, and it sort of like begins to back up, and you see the creature sort of backing out of like the sort of the hedge that it was buried into, and you can see like the spines out of the back of its like jutting out the back. And you see some like debris that's caught in it, including a piece of like rusted metal in the shape of like an L that is sort of like stuck in the back. It hasn't seen you yet, but it is sort of backing up, and it seems to be coming in your direction, like it's gonna turn around on you.
I got this. I'll be friends with it.
Right. Well, you try that. I'm going to start making my way back towards the others. Try
Okay.
not to get stampeded by this thing.
Hedgehog.
Oh dear.
We're friends now. Can I cast a spell?
Yeah, what are you casting, a new spell?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to cast a spell to try to charm the Wilder the
Sure.
hedgehog,
Or
while
something.
Kanji starts to sneak away.
Or something.
So what impulse are you using?
I was thinking. I'm scrolling. Can I use trust?
Yeah, that would be a perfect one for this. Okay. You cast we're gonna go ahead and cast the spell to try to create the spell, and then we'll roll a contested check between you and the hedgehog with that spell if you're successful.
I just add them together, right, for this one?
Yeah, so right now you're creating the spell, so add the numbers together to get
So
your
I rolled
pool.
good as hell. I rolled a 14.
Wow, that's good. 14. All right. Got some vowels this time.
Letters. I swear to God, Y is my only vowel again. Okay.
Sid,
There's an A
sing
in
the
there.
song. Letters.
Ladders. We've got ladders.
We've got letters. God, this fucking Q again. Okay. Here we
You
go.
do have a U to use with it, though.
Yeah.
Dude, hold on, nope. Cancel. Roll 20, work with my here. Do I have any other duplicates? I have 2 V's.
Vuvuzela.
Okay. How to make the hedgehog my friend. I cannot believe I've got a Z, a Q, an X, and a Y. Like,
I know.
what in the... I've got the last half of the alphabet so hard right now.
It's not particularly helpful, but you could do quartz. You have all the letters for it.
Do I get extra points? If I
You could
do
offer
this?
it a really pretty piece of
Ooh, a
quartz
shiny rock.
jewelry.
That's true. Do hedgehogs like rocks? About... What is with my letters?
Listen, you just have to justify it to me. I will tell you
That's
whether or
fine.
not your
I'm gonna
justification
see-
is. I'm willing to bend the fiction for that.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
What about a tart?
A tart. A tart.
Can I make a suggestion?
I mean, it's your game.
Rudy.
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 You could also spell
About
turd. I don't know
ward.
how that
Oh.
will help, but
Doesn't seem helpful, but it's funny.
Rudy's a good one. You make the hedgehog your ward.
yeah.
That's
You
what-
could.
that's
You
what I
could
was thinking.
adopt the hedgehog.
Okay.
Put it through college.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah, you
expensive.
are,
All right,
you
Batman.
are forever responsible for this
For this
hedgehog.
hedgehog.
For this hedgehog. Ward is good.
Heart is also in there. It's not helpful, but
No, that seems like the opposite of what I want. I could make it pay me taxes. I could give it its vaccines. I'm gonna do ward.
I like ward.
Can I adopt this hedgehog, please, with my spell?
Okay, so you're gonna cast the spell ward using trust. You want to make it a permanent spell or?
Oh yes.
Okay, so you
Oh
spend
yes,
the
I
point,
do.
spend the potential for that, as well as any potential that you want to increase the level of it, and then I'm going to have you roll your ward spell against the hedgehogs. I do have stats for the hedgehog. The hedgehog is going to defend with feeling because he's an angry hedgehog
Aw.
and doesn't really want to be your
Aw.
friend.
He'll learn.
So it's 3d6.
So is this the same as the beginning where like I tie this to the thing that I rolled it with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you tie it to trust, but it has its own level.
Okay.
That you spend potential to increase.
So yes, I'll do that. So I'll spend another one and then make it level 2.
Okay. The hedgehog rolled pretty well. So the difficulty will be 5. So it's going to be kind of a harder difficulty.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. So describe to me
two.
how it looks when you cast ward on this hedgehog.
Penelope just like does like the thing, like throws out a hand and is like, hedgehog, and just points at it, and then just like walks towards it, kind of keeping eye contact with it until she gets close enough, like almost to touch its nose, and then just kind of boops its snoot a little bit and says, tell me your name.
The hedgehog is you say, because you speak this arcane word towards it, and it turns around, you see immediately bristle and that clanking of metal on its back, and it just kind of and kind of as it begins to work towards you, but you kind of begin to calm it down a little bit with your ward spell. It doesn't seem so. Based on the effect of the spell, is you don't have control over it. It's not going to do what you say, but it does expect things from you now. So you
It
decrease
won't kill
its
me because it
spirit.
wants things.
You decrease its spirit, and we're going to honor the fiction of the spell, but it's not like defeated yet necessarily, but you are kind of a stalemate, so it just kind of
Okay, I don't think I can pronounce that. Do you know how to sit? Can you
it
sit?
just sort of shakes its spines angrily. Do you have any food or anything on you?
I mean, probably.
It
I'm a
just begins
student.
to
There's
like,
at least one Cliff Bar in my backpack.
it begins to nuzzle into your bag and trying to eat any food that you have.
Oh, I don't know if you can have chocolate.
It's already eating it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got chocolate across its face now.
That's fine. You can have it.
Chalk's
really like
incredibly
those
toxic to
anyway.
hedgehogs. It dies immediately. I'm just
That's
kidding.
mean.
It's fine. It's fine. It loves chocolate. It empowers it.
We're gonna call you Grunt.
Hedgehog should never be fed avocados, onions, grapes, or raisins, chocolate, any raw meat, or egg yolks.
This is a big one.
Why egg yolks? The whites are okay?
We're gonna call you Grunt. Do you know how to get through the maze?
You see it just kind of back up a little bit, and then it turns and just goes charging through one of the hedges.
Eh?
Is it charging through towards the tower? Or does
No,
it just
it's not. It doesn't care
Oh.
where you want to go.
Okay.
It is not attacking you, though. You seem like you are on amicable terms with this.
Bye, Grunt. I'll see you later.
The other two of you, while this is happening, make it finally emerge at the base of the tower, having completed the maze. You have done so blindfolded, Nimloth,
I mean, her eyes were mostly closed.
or closed, or whatever.
We did it!
Yay! Oh, do I just drop after the spell
Yes.
is completed?
Yeah.
Yeah! I'm okay.
Ah, that was so scary.
Oh, it actually happens a lot. It's okay. Can I? She'll just scramble up your leg and onto your
Oh.
shoulder.
Oh. Hi. You smell
Uh,
really clean.
Oh, thanks. I took a shower this morning.
So should we go in or should we wait?
We should probably wait, but are there any windows or anything on the outside
no-
of the tower?
There are no windows, but there's a big, like iron-bound wooden door in front of you, with a old and intricate locking mechanism on it. The locking mechanism appears to be either broken or has fallen apart slightly, and there's a pile of these oddly shaped, flat, rusted metal pieces scattered across the ground in front of the tower. And it looks about like this. Some of them still remaining, with the rest in this pile in the corner over here.
Ooh. Stuff. This looks like a puzzle.
Well, you're in luck because I'm very good at them. And
You
she
are?
will push up non-existent glasses up her very tiny little lemon nose.
Okay. Do you think they're color coordinated? There seems to be a lot of colors.
I think we should look more at shapes.
Okay. I'm not very good at puzzles.
That's okay. The rest of them will get here eventually. Why don't we spread them all out so we can see them?
Okay. I'm
All
sorry.
All right. For the stream, we've got the puzzle up. I don't know if it's visible for the stream yet. The rest of you, I will say shortly later, join the crew at the base of the tower, where you can see them sifting through these metal pieces, bars. The rest of you have seen a similar metal bar. An L-shaped one on the back of your hedgehog friend.
I'll go get him.
Go get who?
I just start running back through the hedges and the holes in them, going, Grunt! Grunt!
We adopted a hedgehog that we encountered.
Oh, what?
Do we care that? But we could just try and break the door down, right? There's nothing in the note says we can't damage the property.
Oh, that's true.
That's very true. How about we try to do it this way so we're a little quieter, and then if we get really frustrated, we could just beat the thing down.
Okay.
Because I feel like if we're trying to evict someone, like maybe if we're quieter about it, we can like open the door, sneak in, like leave the eviction notice and be like, hey, you have mail, and then run out.
Oh, that's a good
Didn't
idea.
it say we had to make sure they received the note? Like, that we probably need to like watch it into the hands, kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh God!
Penelope had the note.
What did you guys just do?
Nah.
Nothing.
Somebody refreshed it.
Somebody just refreshed the page, and all of the puzzle pieces went back
Weird.
to other places.
Wow.
I almost had it.
Okay, so while you guys are
Whoa.
solving the puzzle, okay, let's do it one person at a time. So who's gonna place the pieces?
No touching.
I don't
Penelope,
think I
we're
can
gonna do-
reach most of it, so someone else should probably do it.
Out of character, this is my shit. But in character, I don't know if Kanji would do it.
Oh, I'm good at these kind of puzzles, but I'm not there.
Yeah, you guys can do it together. Well, let's do it this way. Let's out of character, assuming that roughly all the brains of your characters will roughly equal all the brains of all of you. I'll let you guys work on the puzzle until you need that last piece, and then we'll do the scene for
Okay.
Penelope getting it from. So who wants to actually manipulate the pieces?
LB is not good at puzzles.
I'll
Okay.
do it.
Okay. We have Sid manipulated, and everybody else can coach.
Okay. I grabbed this one. I'm assuming it has to go up top somewhere, so we're gonna stick her right there for now.
You guys can reorient the pieces too.
Mhm.
They're not stuck in those positions. Obviously, some of them are askew. So
I have an idea.
Yeah?
I want to go back.
Okay. Ta-da!
I did it.
You did it!
I'm gonna have some candy now.
Don't forget, you guys
Okay.
can ping on Roll22 if you
Oh,
want to
right.
reference a
You can.
specific
Yeah.
piece. You could ping it.
So yeah, this big chonker of a rectangle probably needs to go,
We could go there,
but
You
then I
can
don't
go
think any of our other.
here.
Yeah.
The only piece we're missing is an L.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So then maybe these two rectangles go with the big chonker.
The little
Maybe.
rectangles.
Yeah.
Discuss. Ping. These-
Ping. Ping me.
This one.
Yeah, the
Go
ones
ahead
that-
and I can't see the ping for some reason.
yeah,
So go ahead and move it.
I did it.
the colors on these are a little similar. And I
I'm gonna
apologize
go
for that.
out on a limb here and say I'm gonna stop trying to help because you guys just pinged two pieces that I definitely didn't know were there until you pinged them. I
Yeah.
cannot see any of these.
I
All
bought
the
the
colors-
puzzle
Oh,
thing.
love.
They're basically just the same color as the background. I can't see any of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I bought
Oh.
this puzzle thing on Roll20 Marketplace. It's cool. I definitely need to do some color correcting there.
I
'cause they're
love these
all, like,
kinds
the
of
same
puzzles,
color.
and I can't help. There's
Well,
no
the
way I
good
can
thing is
help
I've got
with
like
this.
That
500
works.
more of them to use in the rest of our games. I just picked this up today, so they'll be reappearing. I will just color correct them first.
Okay, how do I turn this around? Because it will
So
fit,
if
but
you-
it's
if
a
you click
skew.
If you click on it once,
Uh-huh.
you should see. Okay, someone else got it, but yeah, there's kind of the blue box outline, but then there's on one side it has a line with a teeny tiny blue square. You click on that blue square and it rotates it.
The same way we were spinning the letters earlier.
See the blue square. Will someone rotate it for me? Because I
Yeah.
can't.
So there's like
What-
there's a
which way
when
do
you
you-
click
oh.
on something, there's a blue box around
Oh.
it, and then in the top there's a line, like a vertical line going up, and then there's a little box on top
Ah.
of that.
That's how we need it. It's like just
Yeah.
like that. Bam.
Okay, so
Bam.
then we put the purple one down with the L there. And then we're
Hmm.
left with kind of a T, not an L.
Not right. You need an L shape.
Hmm. Are you sure it's not
This
a
one
T
got
shape?
moved soon. Oh, sorry. I was moving it back because I realized.
Maybe
Well,
it's
we
a
have
T shape.
to see the piece first.
Do you want to get the piece?
Yeah.
We could pause here.
I'm
and have
gonna.
Penelope
Yeah, I'll
get
try to get the piece.
That might clear things up. Okay, Penelope, you venture back into the hedge maze looking for Grunt,
Grunt.
who you find with a
Grunt.
lone patch of berries that they've been able to scavenge that have been growing somewhere in the maze, and you hear their grunting as they're nozzling away at that. And they turn around over their shoulder at you.
Come here. I'll give you a Cliff Bar.
It kind of stops for a second, and you get the impression that it's saying, "Show me the Cliff Bar first."
Heck, I probably don't have any more Cliff Bars.
I'm gonna start doing narrator like the way like as a Divinity does animal narration in their games. It's like speaking to the hedgehog. You get the impression that the hedgehog wants to know what you want.
I want to point at the piece on its back. I need that.
The hedgehog seems reluctant to give up that piece.
Why do you even...
Hedgehog says it's his favorite piece.
Why do you even want that? You can't eat it.
Style.
Please?
It's the only thing the lady hedgehogs like about him.
Well, that seems like a you problem, Grunt. Have you tried not grunting?
You're rude.
You're not here. I'm gonna cast a spell to try to make him give it to me.
Okay.
Give it. Give. Drop it.
You would cast the same spell, the ward spell again, or are you gonna...
No, I'm gonna try something different. It's a one shot. Fuck it.
Okay, sure.
Drop it.
What impulse are you using?
I'm going between trust and grit.
I would say trust doesn't seem like necessarily where you're going. But yeah, I would say either
And
grit or
grit?
force or something like that. Yeah.
I'll do grit.
Okay.
That's my best one. I've got 4, 5, 7, 13, 15
God,
letters.
very well on those. I'll take us back to the letter page
Give me those letters.
because I'm not putting those on the same map as.
Zoom back in. Get that Y every time, huh?
You do get the Y every time.
I C E. Now I'm just fucking swimming in vowels.
Yeah.
Just the one. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, hi. Got the Y up here. Okay. 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 There's got to be a word with like 4 E's in it. Money will not help me. Mice, probably not a good plan.
I mean, you could offer the hedgehog a bribe
Of mice?
of money.
Of money? I don't think he needs money.
Or something shiny.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shiny.
Shiny
Yeah,
is in
that's what I was
there.
thinking.
Could also give it a
No.
sheep if it's
What if
carnivorous.
it? But what if,
If you're
I made
looking
it,
for stuff,
What if it was real shiny?
Shiny.
Shiny.
Now, just to remind you, grit, driven by principle, often in opposition of something disagreed with, or dedication, or with
Yeah.
dedication or perseverance.
I want him to do what I'm saying.
I have something you could do.
Yeah.
You have the letters to make my piece.
Ooh.
You just say that it's my piece of the puzzle.
Mine.
Nice.
That is mine.
That is so literal and so specific to the situation
Speak
that I
this
love
into
it.
existence. Now, hold on. Let's look at the other letters. Oh. Fucking E's for days.
Mhm.
I'm just seeing if there was anything we could add on to it.
My piece, son.
My piece, son.
He is my ward.
He's your ward. You could call him your son.
My piece, phone.
Oh, that doesn't help me. Yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Okay. You gonna make this a permanent spell or
Yes.
just a one time?
No, absolutely.
Okay. I was
is
gonna say
fine.
it's a little
It's very
specific.
specific.
I don't care.
Okay.
There's no way I'm ever gonna be able to use as many letters again.
What was the ability again?
It was
your impulse?
grit.
Grit. Okay. It's such a specific spell. I'm not gonna have you roll another thing for it because it just you just
Mine.
do it. So the hedgehog like stares you down, and there's this moment of just like where the camera goes between your eyes and their eyes and your eyes and their eyes as you speak these words. My piece, son. Can I get the delivery of that from Penelope?
My piece, son.
The hedgehog glowers at you for a minute, and then it gets really frustrated. Just kind of stomps at the ground and then moves up to you really fast, and then just rolls around on the ground a bit, dislodging the piece. And it steps away and just goes stomping back off towards its room.
The teenage years are so hard.
You have the piece.
Yes. I'm
Let's
bringing
take
it
us
back.
back to the door. The piece appears. GFO, there, token layer. There it is.
Okay, so it really is an L.
It is an L.
This one started off in place.
No.
I think
Well, yeah, but okay. I see what you're saying.
as a person who does these puzzles a lot, I think having the 3 vertical ones is together is probably a mistake.
Yeah, so
Like, there's probably a way to fit those in.
mhm.
I can go ahead. I'll expedite this by telling you guys which ones you have correct that lock into place. Let's do it that way.
Okay.
Let's see. This one is correct.
Fucking
This
weird
one's
ass
correct.
puzzle.
Actually, that was correct. Yeah, they're all correct. The ones that you have in place so far. It's just the orientation of the last one.
Okay.
So just need to turn them then. Well, there you go.
Okay, so that was throwing us off because that equal
I
L
thi-
was in the corner before.
Yeah, I think it got
Yeah.
moved.
That one got moved, I think, at some point.
Gotcha.
When everything got reset. All right. So, you guys, there's as all the pieces finally stick into place, you shove them in there as they're kind of rusting. They clearly haven't been put in there in a while. You hear the locking mechanism disengage, and the doorbell of the place of the tower goes off, and it goes bum 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 bum, and the door is free to open. You pull it open with the hinge kind of rusting and squealing as you do, and you walk into a a marvelously cluttered library that spans the first 30 or 40 feet of this tower, with a spiral staircase leading up to a second level above, crammed so fully with bookshelves that you can hear the wooden slats groaning under their weight. And yeah, I mean, from here, it's just a massive library with stairs leading upwards. You don't see anyone moving in here currently.
What's his name?
William W. Webster.
Should we call for him?
Maybe we leave his eviction notice first. And then we can yell for him and run.
But we have to make sure he gets it.
I think we have to deliver it to his hand.
Mm-hmm. Gotta follow the rules.
I could sneak it to him.
We have to find him first.
Okay. But shh. Can I cast quiet on everyone?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Go ahead and cast your quiet spell.
Okay. So that's 3. Woo! 6, a 5, and a 4.
Nice.
Woot!
You what? You just like quiet to everyone, or
I think just shh. And as the shush goes out, just like any movement you make just doesn't make any noise anymore.
Nimloth just mid-sentence, just your voice just stops. The rest of this episode turns into pantomime.
We go forward quietly.
All right. Everybody goes up the stairs. Second level. All right. You ascend the staircase, looking over the mighty library that surrounds you. Penelope having to resist the urge to begin reading books or collecting books or making out with books. I don't know what you do with books. She says she loves books. I don't know how far it goes. You make it to
That's
the...
not the only kind of love.
That's not what bibliophile means.
You make it to the second level of the library, and here you find an alchemist's lab, much tidier than the rest of the structure. There are tables with alchemical equipment all surrounding the circling a central kind of focal point of the laboratory. There is a stone orb at the center that is sort of carved with runes around the outside. Next to the orb is a table with 5 distinct potion bottles sitting on a rack, each one sitting next to each other, with an open notebook resting next to them, quill and inkwell still open, the ink long dried out at this point. Yeah. What do you do?
What does it say?
What do the notes say, or is it a blank notebook?
Nope, it is written in. You go walking up to it, and you see a list of accounts of experiments on this orb through the use of these potions. Essentially the notebook recounts the attempt to activate the magic of this orb by mixing the effects of several potions and then and by imbibing them in a specific order to infuse the user with magic to activate the orb. And what you get from the lab notes is this. I want to move you guys to my potion puzzle page.
Okay. Should we read them out loud?
I am having such massive flashbacks to the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone computer game.
Very much so.
Okay, so lab notes. The effects of all 5 potions are needed to activate the stone, but the order in which they are imbibed must be carefully considered.
It's the same.
Each potion must only be imbibed once. The potion of earth and essence must not be consumed after the potion of arcane distillation. The potion of infatuation must be consumed immediately after the potion of earth and essence to temper its effects. Consuming the potion of life renewal last may prove fatal. The potion of life renewal must not be consumed after the potion of infatuation. Consuming the potion of earth and essence prior to the potion of frost will inure its effects.
Okay, I've got a notepad.
Okay.
So,
This is a thing we can do.
yes.
We got this.
Okay.
This is reasoning.
I also have tokens that you guys should be able to move that once you get to the point where you're laminating them down that you can place on the potions to... Now, part of the puzzle is figuring out which potion is which, based
Okay.
on descriptions.
So I'm guessing we've got earth, arcane, frost, life, infatuation. Does that seem to match up with what other people think?
Say one more time.
We've got earth going just left to right, top to
Okay.
bottom. Earth, arcane, frost, life, infatuation.
That tracks for me.
I think so.
Okay, so life is not 5. Because that's gonna kill us. Potion of earth and essence prior to the potion of frost will ignore its effects. So I think we might have,
Frost was one of the first ones.
yeah. But life has to come before. So frost and life are towards the front. What's it say for the arcane? Must not be consumed after the potion.
Earth and essence cannot be consumed after arcane, so arcane might need to be.
Arcane might be the last one. So it might be... Okay. But how do life and frost interact? I'm not verbalizing all the connections, but I've got most of them down, I think.
Okay, so life cannot be last. It just
Right.
cannot be last.
Yep.
It also cannot be after infatuation. So it's definitely not 5. It's definitely not 4. It's at least 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I think Arcane might be the last, because Earth can't be before, or Earth has to be before Arcane, but you need Love right after Earth. So I think Earth is 3, Love is 4, Arcane is 5.
Wait. Or okay, Earth can't go after Arcane. All right, cool.
So potion for Earth. Let's see. Okay. So then it's just figuring out life or frost.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing here is put them somewhere and then we'll like check
Figure it
based
out
on
from
the
there.
list. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go through the list. All right. So 5 potions. Each must only be done once. Are these statements true? The potion of Earth and Essence cannot go after. So Earth can't go after Arcane. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes, because it's before right now.
Mhm.
Infatuation must go immediately after Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
Life renewal is not last.
Correct.
Life renewal is not after infatuation.
Correct.
Correct.
And consuming the potion of Earth and Essence prior to the potion of Frost will inherit its effects.
Nope, because Frost is
Earth-
first.
Earth has to go after Frost, and Frost is first. Fresh is first.
I think that's it then.
Unless we want to ignore its effects so we don't freeze to death.
What are we freezing to death?
What?
I'm just wondering what it means by ignoring its effects. If we,
We'll nullify it.
yeah.
I think we don't want to nullify it, though, because we need the effects of all 5 potions to activate the stone. Like, we need the effects of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and then it does.
If we have guessed which ones are which right, then I think we are correct.
Yeah, though from what I can tell, 1 and 2 could be swapped without issue, based on the rules that we have. But that also would hopefully mean we can drink them in either order, as long as we don't
Yeah.
violate the other rules.
No, that should be fine. I think we've got the types
Yeah.
right. I would be shocked if we didn't.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Okay. Kanji will volunteer to drink these.
You're so brave.
Really?
I mean, he's got some daring, he's got some style.
Daring all the
and,
way.
Yeah, I will attempt to enhance my constitution ahead of time in case the potions mix poorly. You're muted.
Yeah, 16. Okay, you want to cast Enhance on yourself first?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hopefully
do
I
that.
do better this time. That's a 6.
That's very good. Okay, you enhance yourself. Kind of what? Like, do you like physically beef up, or is it just like lining your? It's like taking Pepto Bismol beforehand, like lining your stomach.
Yeah, it's whatever that Fallout perk is, like lead stomach, lead line stomach.
Yeah.
Lead
yeah.
belly.
Yeah. Okay. And then you drink them in the order that you have them on here. So you take a gulp of the frost one first,
Mhm.
then the life one, then the earth, then the infatuation, then the arcane, which you have labeled them correctly. So you guys did get those right. And you do have the correct order. I think as he finishes drinking the last one, VK, you do like stumble, look over, and underneath the table you find a little scrawled up piece of paper that you open up, and it just says note to self, don't drink life first, so itchy. But you guys didn't get that wrong. You didn't need that last clue. You guessed it correctly anyway, because the first 2 were interchangeable. And you see you see Kanji begin to sort of glow brightly with this energy that is kind of, it wells like towards the palms of your hand.
Well, I guess time to get hands on. And shove my hands onto the stone.
You touch the stone. As he does, you feel that light just sucked out of your hands and into the stone, which the runes begin to glow. The stone lifts off the ground and begins to spin, kind of, and you all kind of take a step back away from the stone for a second as it lifts into the air and lifts and lifts and lifts, and then there's like a cracking noise as the stone splits, and opening up between the split and the stone, you see a like a portal open up, and you just hear this roaring and this like typhoon on the other side, and the sounds of this like cacophony of animals and nature and everything, this all coming at you at once, and then spilling out from the portal and landing with a kerthunk between the three of you, the five of you. You see a grisly looking man with long gray hair, wild and unkempt, dirty brown robes, tattered and spoiled, carrying a broken staff tied together with cord made from vines, which seems to sputter with magical energy. And he hits the ground with a loud noise, and then the portal slams shut behind him, and the orb drops back down to the pedestal, kind of shaking the whole room a little bit. And the man is on the ground for a second, and then his eyes open up and goes wide, and he goes looking around the room, and he goes, "Who are you people?"
The better question is, are you William W. Webster?
No one's called me that in some time.
Holding the hand out for the note. You've been served. And just handing it to him with style.
Make a style. We're gonna contest the style of this handing over of this letter with this guy's let's see. I'm gonna say it's gonna be his grit. So I'm gonna roll for see what the difficulty is first. His grit is 4. Difficulty is going to be 5.
Okay. I've got a 4 in style. Only got a 3.
Okay.
Got two ones and a 2 and a 3.
You sort of flourish and handing it to him, and he just smacks your hand with the staff. And he said, "No one evicts me from my home."
It's, you know what? He's mistaken. That's a letter from your best friend, if you remember.
You need to trust us.
I'm gonna cast my trust spell.
Okay, we'll do the trust spell, and then we'll do the we'll do both at once. And we're gonna still contest this against his grit. I don't want to do any more rolls. We're
Just
getting
fuck
low on
him up.
time. So it's still a 5. Both of you guys roll.
What am I rolling?
You're gonna roll. You're rolling a trust spell, right?
Yeah.
What's
The
the name of the spell
renown.
again? Or yeah. Oh, the spell's name is.
The spell's name
Trust.
is Trust. I have 2 levels in it.
Okay, that's right. I think that threw me off because there's also an.
Oh, there
impulse
is
name,
Trust.
so-
Isn't
Yeah. I didn't realize that we named the spell, which is fine. So you roll the level of your spell,
Okay.
and so does.
So 2d6.
Yes, roll 2d6. You're trying to get a 5
And then
or
can
higher.
I add something because I have 10 points of something?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
You can
if I-
increase
can
the
spend-
spell's
Oh, yeah.
level.
Yeah, you can spend potential.
Yeah, you can spend potential to permanently increase the level of your spell. So if you want to increase the spell to a higher level,
16.
you just increase the level of your spell to 5.
Yes.
Okay. You roll 6 there, and go ahead and roll the memory spell for me too.
I got a 6 as well.
Yeah.
So he stops for a second as he smacks Kanji's hand. He goes, "Oh, it's a letter from Paul. Oh, awesome!" And he steps forward and takes the letter and opens it up, and he goes, "Do you guys immediately book it as soon as he picks up the letter?"
I think Nimlock goes, "You're evicted," and then like somebody just pulls her away.
And you just hear
Oh, gets
him-
quiet again.
You just
We
hear him
run.
yelling, from up the tower. Just no. As you guys all go running downstairs, hopping on the back of your favorite dragon again,
Mothman!
summoning Mothman. Anyone else want to summon anything?
Yeah, I'll summon a gorilla.
You summon a gorilla.
It's our muscle in case he comes after us.
Not so much summon, but I'll have us all do a dance party to celebrate as we fly away.
Oh yes.
Even Grunt starts to dance out.
The
in
5
the,
elements.
hedge maze.
Gorilla, worm, quiet, dance,
Moth.
and Mothman. With our powers combined.
You evict this poor old man from his house.
Captain Magic.
And that's where we're going to end the session for today. I managed to do it on time, guys. And we got through all the puzzles I wanted to get through.
Yay!
Well, you passed your assignments. And you've evicted Wild Willie from his house. That's his name now. That is the name I have in his notes. And he no longer goes by William Webster. He goes by Wild Willie.
He's also horny on main.
Mhm. All right. Good stuff, guys. I know it got a little weird there in the end, but how'd you guys like this
It was
system?
weird in the beginning.
It was weird. I'm a lemon.
It's a lemon.
I am a lemon. I am a walking, talking lemon. It done been weird. I had a wonderful time. Thank you for inviting me. And
I
letting me be a
love
lemon.
it.
I liked it.
So fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I am curious how the tone would shift doing an actual campaign of this.
It talks about that in the book a little bit, where like it says like there is such a range for this, where it can go like this, or it can go like real grimdark, real fast.
Yeah.
So I think that's like
this-
a plus of the system, though.
Yeah, I like the silly element for a one shot. I'd probably land somewhere in between if I was running this as a long-term campaign. I wouldn't do so many puzzles if I wasn't doing this as a one shot either. I was just like, I came up, I found the thing on Roll20 for the door puzzle, and then I don't know, you guys called me out with the potion puzzle for the Harry Potter thing.
It was
I
just,
don't remember.
Is that?
it was,
I
it
don't
just
remember
was.
the puzzle being exactly that Harry Potter, but you guys know more about it than I do.
No, I think
It's
you just
been
have
so
to figure
long.
out to drink the right potion. But
Yeah, just the one potion. And you guys managed to get it right. I didn't know if you guys were going to find the secret clue or not, or someone's just going to break out in hives. But you got it right anyway.
yeah, I think like
So, yeah.
tone-wise too. If we're talking about the system, like I think it would be very different, like doing a campaign or like knowing you're doing this for a time, because the process of making a character, especially for all of us because we play these games, like these kinds of games so often, that like we make very different characters for one shots versus like
For
if we
one-shots.
know we're gonna have to do them for more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I think that's
yeah.
a tonal thing too.
There's a lot of depth for those out there watching, or any of you guys if you want to run it at some point in the future. There's a lot of depth to the system that we didn't get into. There's systems for like companions and making summons, and like you can summon like big powerful things, kind of like a Final Fantasy style summon where you like learn the true names of things. You can like spend time to research that. You can like once per session or once per certain amount of time, you can like call out the true name of something and summon this big powerful creature that will do one thing to help you. We sort of played fast and loose with that. You guys like all had a summon for something, but I was fine with that for a one shot. There's also like magic item crafting rules and stuff, like for, again, it keeps it pretty loose, but it's pretty fun, and like built into the system, like creating these like magical artifacts and relics, like using the power of words and spells and stuff, and imbuing your power into like items. So yeah, it's very cool for a 64-page game. My one thing, if the developers are out there watching, is why there are no table of contents. I don't know why there wasn't one. That would make my life a lot easier. That's the one thing that I would say. My only problem with the game is that it was kind of hard to parse out because there wasn't a table of contents in it. But otherwise, it's a very fun game. Anyone have anything parting thoughts on any of that? No. Okay.
It's extremely enjoyable.
I'm going to for those of you that are live with us right now, I'm gonna link Whimsy one more time because this is a game by Whimsy Machine Games, which I think just rules. I have a link in the chat right now. It links to their pinned tweet essentially, which has their latest Kickstarter for heck, I can't remember the name of the game. It's a tabletop. It's a new tabletop game that is based
Run,
on
action,
like
or no?
Metroidvania style video
Yeah.
games, but it's an actual like TTRPG. It's cool. Their new Kickstarter is there, as well as like their Patreon and their drive-thru RPG links and stuff like that. So check that out. If you're with us on YouTube, we're also gonna put this in the description of the YouTube video, so you can check their stuff out because this game rules, and so does their other stuff. So, and Taylor specifically, who wrote this game, it rules. You can follow them on
Fight
Twitter
Item
too.
Run. That's
Fight Item Run is their latest Kickstarter. But yeah, if you like Metroid, if you like Castlevania, those kinds of like video games, they made a tabletop game based on it. So go check out their Kickstarter because it rules.
Yeah. So yeah, anyone else want to plug anything? I know Elby, you've got your finale tomorrow for
Rod of
Rod
Some
of Seven
Parts,
Parts,
the Rod
uh,
Show.
the Rod Show. So join over that. Join Savannah for her show tomorrow. Over on Account of Roleplay. Will be next tabletop or scheduled tabletop game that we'll be running. It will be on Friday. Neon Souls. And yeah, we'll probably have some other video games going on the next couple days. I know I convinced Savannah to pick up We Were Here Together today,
no.
which is a cooperative puzzle solving game on Steam that I think we might try to play tomorrow because I'm not working and I don't want to do anything like work.
It's also,
Give
according to
away.
Steam, a little bit of a horror game. Just a little
bit.
Just a little
It's
bit.
a little bit
Just
spooky.
a little spooky.
Yeah, there's a jester in it who's a little creepy.
Well, I won't be
Um,
actually working tomorrow. I'll just be watching you guys play games. It's gonna be great. I hope no one I work with watches this. It's fine.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for our lovely players for making this super enjoyable. You're all incredibly creative people, and I am so glad that each and every one of you were here to play this game. Hopefully we'll play it again soon. We'll let you know, and we will see everyone next Tuesday for the next installment of the Squire Squad, where Alex is going to take us through a mass campaign that he's running. And yeah, we'll see everyone then. And until next time, good game. And good night, Internet.
Mothman!
It's upsettingly sexy.
Stay upsetting.